Hey there, welcome to the One Brain Four Wheels channel. It's the Gear Bear here like always, and today we're going to tackle a problem that's very common on Fieros, and that is diagnosing why these reverse lamps stop working on me. Well, actually they never worked for me, but we're going to diagnose why. Also, sorry for the wind noise. It's a storm coming through California right now, so I'm going to try to speak up louder, and you guys are just going to have to bear with me. But anyhow, getting back to the problem, I actually already diagnosed my car and figured out what's wrong, but I'm going to kind of go through my thought process and how I figured it out. So first off, for the manual transmissions on these cars anyways, the reverse lights are actually activated via a circuit that comes through here. So it's not, pretty much what I want to mention is that it's not activated through the gear lever itself, but actually through the cabling in the manual transmission. So if you kind of look in here, guys, I'm going to back out here and zoom on in. You'll see a connector right in here. That is the connector. It should be kind of stuck into the metal here, the engine, but that is the connector for the wiring for the reverse lights. And if we kind of follow it over here, so just to be clear, it's hard to see, there's that connector, follow it down here, and I removed this grate here over the engine. And if we go down here, so that right there, that is the actual connection for the reverse lighting and where it connects into the transaxle. And what it actually looks like is this. So I've purchased a new one from the Fiero store, and it looks like this. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of a closer look on this. So what's happening is this physical connection inside of the transaxle, when you're shifting into reverse, the linkage in there is actually depressing that little ball there. See, I can kind of press down on it a little bit. That is actually, when it gets depressed with the linkage, is making a connection, which is going to go ahead and power the circuit for the reverse lamps. So why did I buy this part, or why did I know this was bad? Well, if we go ahead and look at the connection here, let's go ahead and bypass the switch. This was my thinking, is let's start with assuming the switch is bad, because on the forums for Fieros and stuff, it has been stated that that is a common occurrence for this. So I figured, okay, let's just go ahead, that's common, let's start with that. If the switch is bad, how can we test that? Well, let's bypass it. So if we go ahead and disconnect that connection there, we're going to go ahead and just complete the circuit with some wiring here, which I've got, a little piece of wiring. I'm just going to stick in the little connector there. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn the car to on. And if the switch is bad, but everything else is fine, then with this connection made manually by me, the light should pop on. So let's go ahead and try it. Alright, so all I've done is disconnected that connection from the switch and just put my wire in there, connecting that circuit manually. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is hop into the car. I'll put you guys out here so you can look. And I'm not going to turn the car on, but I'm going to go ahead and put the key in the on position with the shifter in the reverse position. And those lights should turn on, which it will because I already did this. Let's go ahead and look for yourself. Alright, here goes nothing. Success! Alright, and that's pretty much how long it took me to diagnose this problem in real time. Fortunately for those forums, that really helped me out because I wouldn't have had any idea that that was a common issue without looking online, so definitely a good lesson learned. Always look online, a very good resource to help you at least start out trying to solve problems on your car. So now that we know that the switch is what's bad in here, let's go ahead and change it out. So, like I said before, I got the switch online from the Fiero store, which is a really good resource for getting parts for this car that are Fiero specific. And let's see actually what this cost me. So, I'm going to go ahead and hide part of this, I think, because it probably has my address on it. But, let's see, if I just block all of that, that looks good. So, this was a manual trans backup light switch, and it cost a whole whopping $50.20 with tax and shipping and stuff. So that's not that bad, and I'm going to actually fix this finally. So, like I said a minute ago, let's go ahead and change it out. So I was going to try to film it while I was actually doing it, but I don't have enough hands. But I'm just going to go ahead and describe what I did. So here's the switch removed, and what I did to actually get this off, because mine was on extremely tight, was I went ahead and cut off the rest of the wiring harness from the switch. That allowed me to go ahead and get a 22mm socket onto this guy, along with a really long wrench here, and with a little bit of elbow grease, I actually got this thing off. And you can see, by all looks, it seems fine. But obviously we know that it's broken. So don't let the looks deceive you. Because really, yeah, it looks totally fine to me. It's springy still, so don't really know what broke on this, but it is. So all I had to do now was go ahead and install the new one, which went right back in to the same spot. You can see it looks a little bit cleaner in there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but alas, it is a new one. And obviously I can't go ahead and just cut the wiring off of the new switch, so I went ahead and just used a small crescent wrench and got in there and just tightened it by hand as good as I could. It wasn't locked on, or it's not going to be locked on there now like it was before, but I think most of that was probably because it had been on there most likely since the car was built, so it probably wasn't fastened on there super tight, just as tight as you can by hand, and most of that was probably just because of the residual grease and crap and corrosion, everything kind of building on and bonding to each other. So now with all that done, all I had to do was go ahead and reconnect the wiring connection there. So here, this end is coming from the new switch, and that was already there, and it's going to the rest of the electrical stuff, the magic in the engine. And so now with all of that done, let's go ahead and actually test it out and see the fruits of our labor in action. Da, 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 da. Huzzah! As you guys can see, the reverse lamps are operating, and we don't have our little jerry-rigged connection going on. That is the actual connector there. So it worked, like we kind of already knew going into this, but still, it's really nice to see a project very easily come together. So yeah, that was a pretty easy project, at least in my opinion. It only took about $50 worth of parts and about a half hour of my time. And really, anything else you guys might need, you probably already have. You don't need a whole arsenal of tools to do this job. Really, some socket, or a socket, 22 millimeter, and a socket wrench, and a crescent wrench was all that I used. Plus, I used the little piece of wire to test it out. But other than that, that really was it. And I don't have it on because I didn't want to drain my battery anymore. But now we have working reverse lamps. So definitely, yeah, I hope this really helped you guys out. But yeah, I definitely want to do a big shout out to the online Fiero forums, Penix, or I don't know how you say it, but Penix or something like that, Fiero forum. And there's another one on there, but they're really helpful resources because the Haynes and the Chilton's manuals, they're okay if you're in a pinch, but really they don't go in detail enough for a lot of these projects that you're going to find on a car like this. A lot of really intricate things that are kind of funky, because GM was weird back in the 70s and 80s, trying out new technology and stuff like that. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but definitely, yeah, those online forums were a huge lifesaver to me. But if you don't want to look at those resources and you want to watch people like me do it, then I'm all for that. Definitely, yeah, I hope that this is helpful for you guys. And by the way, if this video was helpful for you, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. I think the thumbs up button's somewhere down here. I would really appreciate it if you guys would press that button, but only if you really enjoyed the video and thought it was helpful. But other than that, yeah, I think that this was a really successful project, and definitely it couldn't have gone any easier, really. But yeah, so without further ado, I think it's time to end this video because it does look like it's starting to rain once again here in beautiful Northern California. But definitely, if you liked the video and you want to see more of me working on this car, or the 77 Eldorado, or the 2003 Suburban way back there, or the 2016 Corvette, and I guess we shouldn't forget about my mom's 2016 Jeep Grand Cherokee, then please subscribe to the channel, One Brain, Four Wheels, which you're watching right now. And until next time, guys, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Oh, by the way, yes, I am sitting on my Corvette. It's a car, it's not going to break. People just like freak the hell out about stuff like this. I don't know what to tell you guys, like it's not going to damage the car to sit on it. I mean, don't worry about it, it's fine. I don't know, I did this previously and someone complained about it and it's like, really? Like, it's paint, and it's got paint protection film on the front, by the way, so I'm not scratching anything. The plastic isn't going to crack. It's good. It's just a car, but it's a very cool car, and I respect the car, but it's a car, guys. It's fine. Sorry, it's a little tangent. But anyhow, rant over. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. And bonus, I now have illumination for my Corvette. She likes it. See you guys next time.